two videos that I've recently watched. One is called The Secret, the other is The Era of Positive Psychology. The Secret is based on the law of attraction and claims that positive thinking can create life changing results as well as increase happiness, health, and wealth. Your thoughts attract similar thoughts and circumstances. Therefore, according to the video, your thoughts create your reality. So, what they say is if you think that you're going to have bad luck and a bad day, you're going to get that and you're going to get more of it. The upside is that the opposite is true. So, according to the video, your thoughts are like a magnet. Your thoughts send out a frequency to the universe, and then the universe responds by bringing you more of the same. The era of power of positive psychology discusses the reason to be optimistic. Positive psychology concentrates on your strengths and your weaknesses. It is interested in building on the best things while repairing the worst. It's concerned with making normal lives, more fulfilling and nurturing. The higher talent. There are three classifications of happy lives: pleasant, engaged, and meaningful. The pleasant life is non modifiable and it's habitual, in which you experience as much a positive emotion as you can and you have the skills to amplify it. For example, if you're a downhill skier. So you start off on the medium slope, and then you go to the highest slope, and then you go to the diamond, and then you go to the snake. All the while, you're building on your skills, and you're getting more and more enjoyment from that. Um, the engaged life is knowing your strengths and using those to create a flow. And what a flow is have you ever been assigned a project or worked on some craft or something, and you started, let's say, at 8 o'clock, and all of a sudden you're so engrossed and you're so engaged that you don't even realize that it's lunchtime. You just know that you're hungry, and you look up at the clock, and it's like, oh my God, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's a flow. A flow is where time stands still. And so you're so absorbed that you lose all concept of time. A meaningful life is a life that uses your strengths in service to something larger than you are. Now, the comparison between the two videos is this. The Secret uses the claim of quantum physics to substantiate that the law of attraction can increase your happiness, health, and wealth. There are no studies to review or evaluate on the Secret video. The wording in the video deals in vague generalities without reference. The law of attraction cannot be tested, and the subject to review is not easily verified. It states you can have, do, or be anything you want. Well, we all would love that, but just thinking those thoughts is not going to get you there. Yet this video states that you can, with no scientific proof, and important factors that can affect the conclusions are overlooked. Sure, you can have and be or do anything, but there is work and skill involved, and that's not discussed. The observer is biased and is laden throughout this video. The orators have a vested interest in the Secret video, and that's because they can sell books, they can sell videos, they can sell you plans. And the conclusions in the video are based on personal stories. The era of power psychology is clearly based in scientific research. It identifies self-awareness along with optimism to create a good life. The video reports in the beginning the history of psychiatry and psychology. Positive psychology uses a measure to test happiness, and with that testing comes interventions to provide people skills to amplify and stretch over time and spaces to have long-lasting happiness. The video provides you with steps on to try to create a happiness plan by planning a beautiful day, a gratitude visit, and strength date. With these steps, steps. Dr. Siegelman tested these steps, and the results of the person using these interventions demonstrates the 3 classifications of happy life. Therefore, it's verifiable. Um, for me to identify stressful situations in my own work experience on Mondays after a holiday, those are very stressful times. There's been 4 days of a dark period of no communication between the customer or the provider to the insurance company. So our call volume is very high, and we have usually 10 to 14 calls holding, which is not the norm. This changes the course of the events for my day and my production. I would previously get very annoyed and highly anxious and stressed out when management would pull me from my daily tasks and employ me to assist on the phone lines. The quality of my calls would suffer. I would have a lack of enthusiasm, and I would have to. It was anxious and nerve-wracking to me to juggle from one task to the other. And this happens all the time. So what I did was I came up with a strategy to change my mindset. On Mondays after a holiday, I sign on to my computer earlier. I try to do some of my regular production and my normal tasks before the phones begin. This helps me feel like I have a handle and some control of my work environment, meaning I have accomplished some of my daily tasks, and I will be able to handle the phone knowing that some of those tasks are done. And I won't be gruff or annoyed when somebody calls, because the person on the other line has no idea that my work was piling up. The second part of this is that when I'm required to go on the phone, sometimes I'll be in the middle of something, and you have to get on the phone right away. So I have to stop, which is fine. I get on the phone and I talk to the person, then I come back. And trying to pick up where I left off, I found was very stressful for me and opened up opportunities for error. So now what I do is I take my phone call, speak to whoever I need to speak to reduce the call volume. Once that's completed, I go back to my work and I start right from the very beginning. This reduces my stress and the opportunity for errors. My unsuccessful attempts at handling my own stress is when I'm given a task that has incomplete or vague instructions and resources to complete the task. Then I find that I get very stressed out, and what I do to try to comfort myself and to make it easier for the next person is jot down some notes to uh, excuse me, to ensure that the person that has to do my job the next time or has to do that task has some kind of guidance. So it feels like I try to get some kind of control over it. I'm still unsuccessful. I don't know how I can do. I'm still trying to work on a strategy. And I guess for me, stress and strategy go hand in hand. If I'm given a stressful environment or a stressful situation, I automatically go into strategy mode, and it works for me.